Thanks to AG1 for sponsoring today's video. Harmony and disharmony in rhythm occur in every walk of life. It is imperative to distinguish carefully between the rhythms of flourishing and the rhythms of decline in every single thing. Miyamoto Musashi. Here on the Fandabidozi channel, I'm obsessed about learning from the past and the natural world to find tools of resilience to bring to the present day. To do this, I cover a whole range of topics from wilderness survival, martial arts, history, nature, and philosophy. In this video, I'll share a training routine I've been developing over the last few years, combining everything I've learned to help me stay focused, fit, build momentum, and hit targets. And most importantly, finding the flow and having a lot of fun in the process. Or as Musashi, the legendary Japanese swordsman, might put it, find the rhythms of flourishing and stay out of the rhythms of decline. So, stay tuned.
Hi folks, Tom from Fandabidozi. Thanks for tuning in. So I've shared some routines and exercises in a previous video titled Hunter-Gatherer's Survival Guide to the 21st Century, as well as my general philosophy on flow in the video The Way of the Staff and Bow to Find the Flow. So check those videos out for a wider context on what I'm trying to achieve here. So in this video, I hope to build upon some of those routines that I talked about previously with some personal training that I've been developing over the past few years that I found have not only helped keep me fit and practice the skills that I teach in my courses, but also just nurture my spirit in a way that working out in an inside gym just doesn't seem to do for me. Nothing nurtures my soul more than being in the forest, swinging sticks about, shooting bows, and generally acting like a weirdo. So the training I've been developing is split into 4 categories. 1. Focus. 2. Functional strength. 3. Swinging sticks and hitting targets. And 4. Playful flow. Now I like to do all this training in nature, so if you had to label it as anything, then forest warrior monk training might get close, because it's in nature, it involves martial arts and meditation, things that a monk might do. I don't know if that's a lame name, forest warrior monk training. It's a bit Teenage Ninja Turtles. Now let me be clear, I am no athlete and I'm not a perfectly disciplined person. Life and laziness often gets in the way of my training. But this video is intended as an overview for what would be my perfect training day in the forest. And I'll share some ideas of progressions from easy to hard. But let me know in the comments if you want me to look at any particular exercise in more detail in future videos. So if you've got the space and equipment, then you can follow along. If you're stuck indoors, then you could do some indoor variations. Otherwise, just sit back and relax. And at the very least, I hope this video gives you some inspiration and ideas that you could make your own to make training a bit more fun and all-encompassing.
Morning. Now folks, if it wasn't for sponsors, I just can't spend as much time making these videos. Even clicking their wee link helps me out. First heard about AG1 from the Huberman Lab podcast, and there he really goes into it and it piqued my curiosity. Before we get into it, first a wee shout out to AG1. So we all know good nutrition is the basis of well-being, and even if you've got a balanced diet, it's hard to cover all your nutritional bases. So you go out and you buy all the different vitamins and minerals and probiotics, but you know, the choice is overwhelming and there's only so many pills you can take in one go. Now the idea with AG1 is that all these can get and you just take 1 scoop of that to cover everything. Now AG1 is described as a foundational nutrition supplement made of 75 high quality ingredients carefully created to nourish your whole body's systems holistically. It's recommended that you take 1 scoop in 8 to 12 ounces of water first thing in the morning every day. It's a nice daily habit, start the day in the right path, and also have the peace of mind that you've started the day with all the micronutrients your body's going to need. Now I've only been taking this for about a month, But so far, I've noticed some benefits. I've noticed an increase in the kind of mental focus and clarity, different to coffee where it's kind of intense and anxious with a crash. This is a bit more of a slow burn and calm kind of clarity. I've also noticed some benefits to my digestion. Now, I will warn you, it's not the cheapest supplement. However, you get what you pay for, and when you look at the ingredients list, it's just high quality plant extracts made in New Zealand, which is nice to see. It looks like it should taste minging, but actually it's like pineapple with a little bit of apple and a little after zing of ginger. So to try it out, go to drinkag1.com/Fandabidozi to get started with your order. AG1 are kindly going to give my viewers with their first order a free 1-year supply of their D3 and K2 supplement, as well as 5 free AG1 travel packs to get you started. You can find all the information below, and so far I'm a fan and I'm happy they sponsored this video. Right, back to the woods.
Let's get into it.
Ultimately, the quality of our lives depends on what we choose to pay attention to. Therefore, I like to start every day and every training session with some practice to focus and still the mind. Before all the endless distractions of the day come flooding in, just sit for 10 minutes and focus on your breathing. It's about taking a step back and just observing, detaching from the endless stream of thoughts. After this, I like to do some deep breathing to flood the body with oxygen before a cold dunk to shock me out of any existential dread. Oh man, that's colder than it looks. So now we've got our head in the game, next is to train some basic functional strength. Now my all-time favourite workout tool is gymnastic rings. You can just stick them in a rucksack, fling them over anything that will support your weight, and train all aspects of upper body in a dynamic way with loads of scope for progression and variations of exercises. After warming up, I like to do an intense 20 to 40 minute workout interchanging between push and pull upper body exercises, with leg exercises in between every set. Here's an example of a full workout set with some progression ideas to get you started. I like to start with 3 sets of 10 pull-up variations, with sets of 10 jumping squats in between every set of pull-ups. I then move the rings down and do 3 sets of 10 dips, with one-legged pistol squats in between those sets. Move the rings down again, find something to prop your feet up, and then do 3 sets of 10 row variations, with sets of scissor squats in between those. Finally, I turn around and do 3 sets of 10 push-ups, with jumping jacks and high jumps in between those. When first starting to train with gymnastic rings, it's best to start with easier variations before building up to harder ones. Such as, you could just start with only doing descending reps, or by keeping your feet on the ground and having your upper body elevated. Then as you gain strength, you can progress and elevate your feet so that you're lifting more of your body weight. Then once you're used to that, you can make everything harder by simply doing the same routine but wearing a heavy rucksack. I've been doing variations of this workout for the past 3 years and I've found it really effective and easy to fit in a quick session even during a busy day. Great thing about the rings is that even when you're having one of those days where you're just not feeling up for it or you're unwell, you can still set them up and at the very least just hang off them or do some slow, gentle movements so at least you're keeping up the habit and moving your body. After some time to recover and stretch, it's time to move to the next category of training. Have you ever noticed that most sports are basically variations of swinging sticks and trying to hit targets with projectiles? I believe there's something deep in our primal mind that keeps us so engaged in these activities. So to keep my inner hunter-gatherer happy, I like to practice staff martial arts and archery, and I have loads of past videos on these subjects. But you could practice your own variations at home. In this category of training, I focus mainly on simple foundational movements to train strength, muscle memory, and stamina in those muscle groups used for the weapons. And in the final category of training, I then flow all these basic moves together and create fun games with them. So with the staff, I tend to train with 3 different weights. 1 light weight, 1 medium weight, and 1 heavy weight. Starting with the lightest stick, I start with some basic moves from the French great stick tradition. But put simply, you just hold the stick in the last quarter and draw circles with the top tip either side of your body. I start with descending circles, then ascending circles, followed by horizontal inside circles and horizontal outside circles. I do each circle to the count of 10, keeping up momentum before switching the leading hand. Once I've finished, I'll then switch to the medium weight stick and repeat the exercise. After that, I then switch to the heavyweight oak staff and repeat it again.
3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, feel the burn.
After a wee break, I then go on to archery. I often use 3 different bows, starting with a light 20-pound draw weight, then a medium 35-pound draw weight, then a heavier 55-pound longbow. I might shoot 20 or 30 arrows with each bow, and since I only shoot with my right hand to draw, I try equal out my muscles by drawing the bow with the other hand every 3 arrows. I found this helps stop repetitive strain injuries. I try take my time and focus more on good technique rather than worrying too much on the target. And I use the whole practice as a sort of focus meditation. During the practice, I will shoot anywhere between 10 and 50 paces, depending on what I'm feeling like. So now we've focused our minds, strengthened our bodies, and practiced foundational techniques. Now, on to the fun part.
Yes.
You'll notice that my training routines so far are based on a certain number of repetitions and focusing on select muscle groups. But with true playful flow, there are no strict rules. No time, no numbers, just free expression. That's difficult to explain in words. But put simply, the aim of Playful Flow is to find that optimal space of learning and engagement with that activity. So let's build on what we covered so far. Remember those 4 staff circles? Well, try these again, keeping relaxed and loose, and see if you can flow each circle into one another. For example, a descending circle turns into an ascending circle simply by turning around. Horizontal circles can be changed by wrapping and springing the arms around the body like a coiled spring. You can then learn a whole number of different staff spins and flow them all together in a way that keeps the momentum going. You could describe this with the analogy of learning a musical instrument. You'd first learn the basic notes or chords, then learn the sequences of notes that work together, and with practice, you'll know all the possible notes that work together to create your own song. Another simple way to practice Playful Flow is to find a friend and have a play fight. Again, keeping it at that optimal engagement level where no one person is winning too much.
Thank you, sir.
Now what about flow in archery? Well, after you can shoot static at a fixed target, the next question is, can you shoot a moving target? Can you shoot your arrows in a continuous flowing rhythm? Then, obviously the logical progression is, can you climb a tree with your bow and arrows and speed shoot from a branch? Can you shoot upside down? Or after a commando roll? And of course, again, find a friend and have a battle. Now it's easy for us to just want to skip the work and go straight to the play, but really you'll get the most out of play after putting in the foundations and the repetitions. To me, you can apply this to anything that interests you, and within it is the secret to really getting the most out of life. So there we go folks, there's some ideas for my Forest Warrior monk training. Hope you found some of it interesting or useful. As I said, let me know in the comments if there's any particular exercise you want me to go over in more detail in future videos. Huge thanks to AG1 for sponsoring this. Also massive thanks to all my Patreons, you guys are legends. Also big thanks to everyone who bought a Fandabby Dozy t-shirt and everyone who signed up to my mailing list on my website to find out about the courses that I run. Happy stick swinging and bow shooting, and I'll be back with another video as soon as I can.